Hey everyone, and to those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Today's video is not a Thanksgiving themed video, it's more of just like a seasonal video, autumn/fall, but I have a lot of Thanksgiving themed videos if you are interested in checking those out. I'll leave a link up here so you can go check them out. But today I just wanted to do some pretty simple and cute fall decor for your house. I'm actually going to be using some of last week's project for this project. I guess it's just another way to dress up how you want to put potpourri around your house, basically. But yeah, let's get started. You'll need fabric, stuffing, a needle and thread, embroidery thread and a long needle, hot glue, cinnamon sticks, and optionally a saw. Generally, you want to cut your fabric down to be 2 times wider than it is tall. So, for example, 12 inches wide by 6 inches tall. This will make a more round-shaped pumpkin. If you make it a little less wide, it'll make it a taller pumpkin. And if you make it more wide, it'll make a shorter pumpkin. And then of course you can adjust the size. You could do like 6 inches wide, 3 inches tall, and then it'll make a really teeny tiny pumpkin. I like doing an assortment of sizes, as you will see. But for this pumpkin, it was 13 inches wide and 6 inches tall, so just slightly short. Fold the fabric in half and sew up the side. I'm hand sewing it here, but you could totally use a sewing machine if you want. It would make this process way faster. Now do a big basting stitch around one edge of the now fabric tube. Pull it tight and knot the thread. Repeat a basting stitch on the other side, but don't pull tight yet. Flip right side out, and then stick the stuffing in. Once it's as full as you want, pull the second set of basting stitches tight, pushing the raw edge of the fabric in as you go, and then knot the thread to secure it. Now take some embroidery thread, thread it onto the long needle. My needle isn't that long, but it's thick, which makes it easier to do this next step. And actually, it's really meant to weave in ends of knit and crocheted work, but since I'm going to be going through the top and the bottom of this now fabric ball, it's not too difficult to push it through. Anyway, tie the thread onto the bottom, and then thread through the middle of the bottom, coming up the top like so. Bring the thread down and over the seam of the fabric, and then thread back into the bottom, pulling through to the top. Pull it a bit tight to make the thread pull the fabric in to make one of the ridges of the pumpkin. Bring the thread back down over the pumpkin, across from the thread that you just did, pulling it tight like before. Thread back through the bottom, out the top, bring back over and back into the top, pulling tight, repeating this as many times as you want to make the ridges of the pumpkins. I ended up repeating this enough to make 6 ridge sections. Knot this thread at the bottom and cut off the excess. For the stem, we're going to use a cinnamon stick. These are a bit long for my pumpkin though, so I decided to cut it in half. I used a saw to make a notch into the cinnamon stick in the middle. I wouldn't use scissors or anything like that because it would probably just make the stick shatter. And actually initially I was going to use the saw to cut through it completely, but I found that once I got a good notch going, I could just snap it in half. And generally it was a pretty clean break. Squirt a dab of hot glue onto the top of the pumpkin and stick the cinnamon stick on. And it's done. These are so easy to make. But if you want to kick it up a notch, you can add a bit of potpourri, like the fall potpourri that I made last week. Basically, I just repeated the same steps, and for this pumpkin, I cut a bit of the width off, so it'll be a little bit taller than the first pumpkin that I just made. But anyway, when you get to the stuffing step, put a bit of stuffing in the bottom, and then put in some potpourri. And then add more stuffing to fully fill the pumpkin. And then continue on with the same steps as before. I decided to finish this pumpkin off with a raffia bow around the stem. I repeated this with different fabrics and different rectangle sizes until I had a nice selection of nice smelling pumpkins. I'm totally going to be scattering these around my house as soon as I finish filming this. I think they turned out so cute. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that good stuff. Here's today's featured project. If you want to be featured in a future video, then use the hashtag CheslinDIY on Instagram or Twitter so I can see what you guys do. I love checking it out randomly and seeing all the different projects that you guys do. So yeah, if you do any of my projects, don't forget to use that hashtag. You can follow me on any of my social media. The links to those will be down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you like my videos and have learned something from them, please consider supporting me on Patreon to help me continue to make them. It's totally optional. I'll still be making videos either way. It just helps me be able to put out better stuff. A link will be down below, or you can just click up here in the corner.